Hello everyone, welcome to FOC class 11 and 12. This video is part 5 of Unit 3 Fundamentals of Java Programming for class 12 Information Technology IT Code 802.
If you want to purchase Class 12 IT Code 802 sample paper book, the links are given in the description.
First of all, let us have a look on the topic that we are going to study today. We will be starting the topic user-defined methods. And in this video, we are going to cover the subtopic methods and the remaining subtopics will be covered in our next video. So let us begin. First of all, the question arises, what is method? Let us find the answer to this question. It is very simple. A method in Java is a block of statements grouped together to perform a specific task. Means whenever we want that a specific task should be performed, for that we write a block of statements which are grouped together. And such block of statements which will perform specific tasks, these are called as method in Java. Now, method has four parts. First is name of the method. Second is return type from the method. Third is list of parameters. And fourth is body. We will be discussing all of them in detail. Before it is important to mention here that the list of parameters is optional. Means it is not necessary that you are providing list of parameters. It is up to you whether you provide or not. So you can say optional list of parameters. Now let us discuss these parts in detail. First of all, let us see the structure of a Java method, with the help of which we will be able to explain the parts of the method. Here is the structure of the Java method. First of all, we write the return type, then the method name, and then is the optional list of parameters which is separated by commas. Means you can separate various parameters by using comma. After it is the body of the method and it is enclosed within curly braces. In the body of the method, there are statements. Now let us discuss about the parts of the method. First of all, we are discussing about the method name. Here we have written this method name to indicate that here we are going to write the name of the method. It is followed by round brackets. Means after it we put the round brackets. Now the parameter list. It is placed within the round brackets. As we discussed in the method name, it is followed by round brackets. So in these round brackets, we basically have the list of parameters, and as its name is suggesting, list of parameters means there will be a list which will be containing many parameters. So these parameters are separated by comma. The parameter list allows data to be passed into the method. Means whichever data we are going to provide in these round brackets in the list of parameters, it is going to be passed into the method. This list is a comma separated list of variables, as many as needed along with their data types. Means the parameter list is basically a comma separated list of variables. Means these parameters are basically variables, and we also have to provide their data types along with the variables. Also, we can provide as many variables as are needed. There is no restriction on the counting of the variables. Then the variables. The variables of the parameter list act just like regular local variables inside the method body. As we have already studied about local variables, so inside the method body, these variables of the parameter list also act like those local variables that we have already studied. So these variables, or you can say the parameters, you have already studied. and this is not a new concept to you because we have already studied about variables in detail in our previous videos. Now, the method body. The method body is enclosed within a pair of curly braces and contains the statements of the method. As I have already told you that this is the body of the method and it is enclosed within the curly braces and there are statements within the method. Now, the statements end with an optional return statement that returns a value back to the calling method. Basically, you can see here in the body we have written first of all statements and then the return statement. Why have we written this return statement? Because it returns a value back to the calling method. Means it will return a specific value to the calling method. The return type is the type of the value that the method returns. Means basically this return type that is written at the first and this return statement. These two terms are related to each other because this return type is the type of the value which will be returned by the method. And what value will be returned by the method? This return statement will return that value to the method. Till now we have already understood about method and the various parts of method like name, its return type, body and the list of parameters. Now let us see how to write a method with the help of an example. Here in this example, we are given the length and breadth of a rectangle as the parameters. Means these are the values which we are going to provide in the parameter list. What values? Length and breadth. And what will it return? It will return the area of the rectangle. So basically we are writing this method so that these given values length and breadth of the rectangle give us the area of the rectangle. Now this is the method that we are going to write and here you can see first of all it is written static. We will be discussing about what is static. First of all let us discuss the remaining part. Double rectangle area. Double is the data type. Rectangle area is the method name. After it, in the round brackets, as we have discussed, we provide the parameters list and the parameters which are length and breadth. They both have the type, data type double and they are separated by comma. After it, in the curly braces, we have given the body of the method which is return length multiply breadth. So basically, this is the return statement. This is the value that we want in return from the method. So we have discussed name of the method is rectangle area. This is the name of the method. After it, the two parameters are length and breadth and their type is double. You can see here there are two parameters length and breadth and both of them have the data type double and they are separated by comma. After it, we are having the body of the method in which we only have a single statement. Here the statement is return length multiply breadth. Calculates the area based on the parameters and returns it. Basically, as we discussed, that the return statement actually returns the value from the method. So this is the method and using this return statement, we are actually calculating the area based on these parameters length and breadth. And this return statement will return that value means will return the area. Return type from the method. Type double. As we discussed that this return statement will return a specific value. So basically this value is the rectangle area, length multiply breadth, it is the rectangle area, and its type is double. We had left this keyword static for the last part, so now let us study about it. Basically, by placing this keyword static in the beginning of this method, we have declared this method as a static method. What does static method do? Basically, static method is related to static modifier. Static modifier allows us to call this method without an invoking object. What does invoking means? Invoking means calling. So this is the main purpose of using static method here, because the static modifier will call the method without an invoking object. Means without calling the object, we can call the method with the help of static method. And that is why we have used the keyword static here to declare this method as a static method.
If you want to purchase Class 12 IT Code 802 sample paper book, the links are given in the description.
So that was all for today. We'll meet you soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye.